Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, so we're going to jump right into a wildly frustrating situation that I know so many of us have dealt with. You spend your hard-earned money on a fancy, beautifully packaged skincare product, crossing your fingers for calm, happy skin. But instead, you wake up to a total morning mirror jump scare. Your skin is completely upset, prone to visible redness, and just breaking out. Well, today, we're answering exactly why that happens. And spoiler alert, it's usually because a fancy vocabulary word completely trapped you. Let's bust some major industry myths about what we call the polypeptide trap.
So why do these so-called gentle polypeptide serums leave your skin feeling so angry? Look, if you have easily irritated skin, you've probably shelled out for a polypeptide upgrade at some point, right? It just sounds so advanced, it sounds gentle, but then you use it and suddenly your face is super reactive and prone to visible redness. Listen to me, you did absolutely nothing wrong. You were just reading a label that was literally written to trick you into thinking you were buying a miracle.
Okay, let's dive into this big secret. Polypeptide is not some magical, ultra-powerful upgrade. Honestly, it's just a marketing word. In the skincare world, peptides are simply chains of amino acids. And if you watch how this breaks down on screen, poly literally just means many. That's it. So a polypeptide is quite literally just a longer chain. It doesn't mean it's stronger, and it definitely doesn't mean it's better for sensitive skin types. It's just a vocabulary preference that a brand prints on a box in shiny gold foil to make you think you're buying something superior.
To show you just how ridiculous this marketing term actually is, we went looking for the official, strict scientific rule on where a peptide ends and a polypeptide begins. Do you want to know the punchline? Nobody in the entire industry can agree. Just look at these definitions spinning around on the screen. Stracia says it's 10 or more. WebMD says, nope, it's over 20. Another wiki claims it's 20 to 50. And yet another guide insists it has to be 51 or more. It's literally a complete guessing game. 5 different sources, 5 totally different answers.
If you want a real gotcha moment, just listen to Carl Lintner. He's the actual chemist who put the ultra-famous peptide matricil on the map. He explicitly states that no precise cutoff point has ever been agreed upon in scientific nomenclature. No agreement whatsoever. So when you see the word polypeptide glowing on a serum bottle, you absolutely aren't buying a strict scientific breakthrough. You're just buying a clever marketing choice designed to catch your eye.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to size. Picture these molecules on your face. Your standard peptides are short chains, right? But those long-chain polypeptides, because they are so massive, they just sit right on the very top of the surface like a heavy blanket. Longer isn't stronger. Longer is actually shallower and slower. If you thought the bigger word meant you were getting better results, the reality is literally the exact opposite.
And hey, here's a tricky little detail you definitely need to watch out for. If you see the prefix SH popping up on an ingredient list, like SH polypeptide 1, that actually stands for synthetic human. These aren't your classic, standard peptides at all. They are bioengineered growth factors. Now, that's a totally different molecule and honestly a completely different debate. But because the brand slaps the word polypeptide onto the end of the name, it just gets tossed right into the same confusing bucket to sell you a product.
Let's look at how this trap plays out when you're actually at the store. The famously popular Protini line has a polypeptide cream that everyone loves. It's a simple moisturizer. But if you grab their polypeptide serum thinking it's just a liquid version of the cream, surprise! It is built around 10% lactic acid. That is a strong exfoliating acid. If your skin gets angry easily and is prone to visible redness, splashing a 10% acid on it is a total nightmare. The word polypeptide completely masked how harsh that serum actually is.
So how do we actually read a label to keep our skin feeling calm and comfortable? Let's ignore the big marketing words on the front and run through this quick, genuinely helpful checklist instead. First, is a specific peptide actually named, or is it just a vague category? Second, where exactly does it sit on the ingredient list? Third, and this is a big one, look closely. Is there a strong acid hiding in there? And finally, if you have reactive skin, is it completely fragrance-free?
If you just want pure comfort and want to avoid setting off visible redness or breakouts, you have to remember that gentleness doesn't come from the length of a peptide chain. It comes from avoiding triggers, period. A truly gentle formula needs to be fragrance-free, have zero retinol, and contain absolutely no harsh exfoliating acids. Skipping those 3 things is your real secret weapon for predicting how a bottle will actually feel on your reactive skin.
Which brings us to a really honest, caring alternative, PowerV. And here is the kicker. It contains 0 peptides and 0 polypeptides. They just skip the confusing vocabulary games entirely.
Instead, PowerV is a beautifully gentle, dermatologist-tested pick that focuses strictly on how your skin looks and feels, without the marketing fluff. PowerV uses this brilliant, super simple framework. Defend, renew, seal. Watch how they build this formula on screen. They use astaxanthin for incredible antioxidant defense. They add phytocelltech argon to support the look of firmness. Then, moss-cell-techno-1 steps in for amazing barrier and hydration support. And finally, ceramides, beta-glucan, and squalane lock it all in to create the perfect seal. It's a straightforward, honest approach designed specifically to support sensitive skin types.
Another massive difference here is the concept of a studied dose. This just means the amount of an ingredient they actually put into the bottle matches the exact amount used in the clinical research. PowerV does this, and even better, they proudly name their supplier out loud, Mabel Biochemistry. I mean, with most of the skincare aisle, if you ask how much of an active is inside or who actually made it, you just get total silence. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this massive number popping up, 171%. That is an ingredient-level study finding directly from Mabel Biochemistry. In their in vitro testing, they saw a 171% activity level. It is incredibly rare for a brand to be this transparent and just share their actual supplier-provided test numbers with you so openly.
And the transparency just keeps going. Look at this one, 12.7%. And an in vivo ingredient-level study also conducted by Mabel Biochemistry, that same argan ingredient showed a 12.7% improvement in the appearance of skin firmness. We are talking strictly about real, visible results for how the skin looks and feels, backed by solid study findings. No empty promises here.
Then there is this absolutely massive stat hitting the screen, 91%. Mabel Biochemistry's ingredient-level study on their Moss-active moss-cell-techno-1 showed a 91% barrier improvement appearance on real faces in just 14 days. Honestly, if you want your skin to look and feel deeply supported and comfortable, these are the appearance-level metrics that actually matter.
For total peace of mind, let's run through the PowerV Clean checklist together. Absolutely no added fragrance. It's a 100% vegan formula. No retinol. No harsh exfoliating assets hiding inside. Non-pore clogging ingredients. And most importantly, it was clinically tested and dermatologist tested on 52 sensitive skin subjects. It leaves all the harsh stuff at the door so your skin can finally just breathe and feel calm.
Now, even with a formula this beautifully gentle, I have to remind you that your skin is wonderfully unique. So, as your skincare best friend, I'm begging you, please always patch test. For the first 1 to 3 days, just apply a tiny bit inside your forearm or right behind your ear. If it looks and feels great, move to the next step and test a small area of your face for a few more days. Once you know your skin is happy, go ahead and make it part of your daily routine.
If you are just totally exhausted by marketing hype and you want a genuinely gentle pick that makes your skin look and feel amazing, you absolutely have to check them out. Go to powervskin.com, but hey, please make sure to type the letter V right in between power and skin. It is POWER, the letter V, SKIN.com. It's super easy to miss, so remember that V.
Oh, and they also have an amazing tool on their site right now. Head over to the web address you see here to get a completely free, personalized AI skin analysis. It's a brilliant, easy way to figure out exactly what your specific skin type needs to look its absolute best, without triggering any of that awful irritation.
So, I'll leave you with this final, very important thought. Now that you know polypeptide is often just a fancy marketing trap, and you know what actually causes your sensitive skin to freak out, will you keep paying for vocabulary, or will you start buying the formula? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Here's to skin that finally looks and feels absolutely fantastic.